On this edition of Majid's Kitchen, we make a Thai jelly dessert, 2 main ingredients, coconut milk and pandan leaves. Let's get right into the video and speak about the ingredients. Okay, a key ingredient is also the agar powder. So I'm not sponsored here, a quick disclaimer, by these two brands. These are of course from Thailand, and I used a teaspoon of agar powder for each of the components, being the coconut milk and the pandan leaf that we will be making a jelly from. So let's start off with the pandan leaves available at your Asian supermarket. We'll be using about 5 of these. You can buy the tray and wrap it well, keep it in the freezer like I have done. So I'll be using about 5 stalks of pandan leaves, 225 ml of water, 1 teaspoon of agar powder, 3 teaspoons of sugar, and this is to taste. I may add a little bit more, a pinch of salt. Move into the coconut mixture. It's a cup of coconut milk. Use a good quality coconut milk, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of agar powder, and a good pinch or 2 pinches of salt. The molds that you can use for the jelly. So you can use a Pyrex dish and set your layers in there, or you can use these easy to find kind of sauce containers that they use in restaurants for takeout. You can also find these quite easily, more or less something for chocolate molds, baking, and I'll be using a cutter just for presentation purposes. Whatever mold you can find, that'll be great for these jelly desserts. Okay, for the pandan leaf, this is typically a stem as how you'd find it in the package. So I just tear it down the center. So you can put 3 like that, or I prefer to do it this way and have 5 pieces. So now I'm going to just cut this with the scissors, because in the end we're going to blend them. At this point we want to boil the water and extract the flavor of the pandan leaf. After about 2 minutes of it boiling like this, remove it from the pan and add it to a blender. Try and get all those leaves. Keep the lid closed. You know, there's not a lot in there, but it's still hot liquid. Scrape down the sides with a spatula and make sure you get all those green bits and place it back into the saucepan. Make sure you get all of that. And now we're going to keep extracting more of that pandan flavor and color. Let it simmer for about 2 minutes. Remember, we added an extra 25 ml of water because of that little bit of evaporation. So we'll end up with 1 cup. So I'll be using an oil filter. You can use a cheesecloth, but I really want those fine particles of pandan leaf to be strained out. And now we'll slowly pour it in here. And rinse out the saucepan so that we can add in the sugar, the salt and agar powder. Whilst we strain out the pandan leaves, we can work on the coconut topping. So in goes 1 cup of coconut milk, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and a good pinch or 2 of salt. Let's bring that to a boil. So it's all come to a simmer. The salt and sugar has melted. Give it a taste. Awesome. Sweet with a hint of saltiness. That's exactly what we're looking for. So at this point I have not added the agar powder to this. Let's just set it aside for now and work on the pandan jelly side of the recipe. Rinsed out the saucepan, and now we're going to take our pandan juice and put it back in the pan. So what I've done here, I have basically brought the ends together and squeezed gently to get whatever I can out of those leaves. And here we have the natural color, an extract of the pandan leaves. Add it to the saucepan. So the flavor of this is a slightly bitter, grassy kind of vanilla flavor, if I can describe it. Here we add in the sugar, and the salt will bring out more of the flavor. Add that in and bring that to a boil. Now we can taste. The flavors are more pronounced after adding the sugar and the salt. So that's perfect. Lastly, the agar powder. Okay, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of agar powder. I'm putting in a little at a time to avoid lumps, and you have to stir it continuously. Bring this to a boil. And then add 50 ml of regular water to this. Let's pour our pandan mix into the molds. So I'll start off with the small ones, about 3/4 of the way. these two empty for the coconut. Now let's add in the agar powder to the coconut milk. That was the last step for us. Let that simmer for a while, 2 to 3 minutes. So just as the jelly forms a skin on the top, you want to add in the next layer. So let's go ahead and do that, the coconut milk topping. Our dessert is out of the fridge, and let's just see how they turned out. So I've used this cutter, just loosen the sides. Loosened, it should come out easily. All right. Here we have some of the layered leftover liquid, which was the pandan jelly and coconut jelly to the left, and the plain jelly to the right. We'll use that as a garnish. I removed, using a cutter, those two pieces of pandan jelly. We'll get a closer look. And this is from the mold. I'll show you just how easily they come off. So if you have these molds, you can just kind of squeeze the bottom and remove them easily. Okay, so here with the various shapes and ways of making or presenting this. Let's put it on a plate and see what else we can do and round up this video. Here we have it from 3 key ingredients: pandan leaves, coconut milk, and agar-agar. This is one way of doing an easy preparation or presentation in small cups like this. Pandan with coconut. There's the coconut milk with a little pandan jelly on the top, and a little presentation here. You could use an orchid for that someone special and place the jellies just like this for a little something different. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching Majid's Kitchen. Like the video if you like it, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos like this.